Fishing technology has advanced dramatically in recent years. Nowhere has this trend been more obvious than on the electronic side of things. On one hand, ever-advancing Lowrance sonar and GPS technology has revolutionized fishing by allowing us to visualize what's happening down below and to track our every movement in relation to fish, as well as to find our way to spots that were once difficult to find. Underwater camera technology has further revolutionized the way we look at what's happening down below. The In-Fisherman television staff has long worked with the Nature Vision company to test prototypes of each generation of Aqua Vu underwater cameras. Let's look at what's in store for this coming season and how the next step forward can be used to better understand and catch bass.
There's one. Oh yeah, oh yeah, woohoo, he got that. There he is. That cooling water. He wanted to jump, but it took him a minute to get his energy up, didn't it? Come here, Woody. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Oh, yeah. She popped that bait just when it came off of that weed line. Today, we're out here experimenting with a great new fishing tool, the Aqua Vu Mav system. A lot of you may be familiar with the Aqua Vu Scout or one of the other Aqua Vu cameras that have been so popular. The new unit allows you to fish and maneuver the camera up and down with the trim switch so you can monitor the conditions as you fish along while you're fishing. It's great. All right, there you go. All right. Oh yeah, there's one. Oh, he was right down in that deep edge too. Beautiful. He got that little jig in his mouth. Ooh, there's a spotted one. He's got those spots on his, oh yeah, all right. That little jig, you know, that finesse approach sometimes in the fall weed line conditions. It's a real reliable pattern where you have good vegetation. Take a little jig, and here I've got a little new gulp craw. This gulp stuff is really, really interesting, but great presentation. All right, there you go. All right, we're going to shorten it up a little. Cut off about 3/4 of an inch so it matches the hook shaft. And you want to impale the craw right on the shank of the hook. Go down the length. Swing it around so it stays nice and flat. And then the hook out the back. So it sits there nice and smooth with just that little hair skirt around it. Great little finesse presentation. Yeah, on the camera we're watching these clumps of coontail and northern milfoil that are starting a little bit deep, and then they're topping out right to the top, and we're working the deep edge of those coontail clumps. And you can kind of see it on the sonar, but you don't know exactly what it looks like. Well, when you see it in the screen, you can see that there's about 4 types of grass.
We interject here that camera use has changed our fishing in 2 primary ways. Number 1, using the camera at the beginning of any day quickly sets our perspective for the day. An accurate view of what's actually below completely changes the way we approach fishing. When we change spots, the new MAV unit makes it easy to quickly drop the camera for another look. Secondly, the camera allows us to more definitely pattern each situation. In this situation, for example, the difference in weed types along the deep weed edge is keying where some bass are holding. In another test situation last season, staff anglers were after smallmouths holding on vast, shallow, rocky flats in a large natural lake during summer. Use of the MAV unit quickly allowed us to arrive at a pattern for the fishing. While smallmouths were scattered on these flats, the biggest bass were holding in areas that had scattered weed cover in association with larger rocks. We used big swim baits to make long casts in order to cover a lot of water. This allowed us to catch scattered fish, but also allowed us to find weed growth. When we found that weed growth, we switched to finesse jigs to thoroughly work through specific areas, thus doubling or tripling our catch. At times, we also saw specific groups of fish, allowing us to stop, back off, and actually catch numbers of them. The opportunity to use the combination of a Lowrance sonar unit and a GPS tracking system in conjunction with the new MAV Aqua Vu is one of the biggest advances that we've seen in fishing in recent years. We're now able to interact one-on-one with the fish, making fishing more successful and much more fun.
There he is. Oh, that thing fell right down on the edge, and he just got it. Oh, that was a good bite there. Ooh, look, he wants to go down in that carrying cage. Ooh, nice, real nice fish. Come here, Mr. Bass. There you go. There you go, buddy. Oh, pretty fish. And one of the keys to fishing a weed line is to have your bait fall in a very natural manner. You want it to drop vertically in amongst those weed clumps. So notice when I'm always, after I cast, I'll strip off some line to give it that vertical fall, so it falls very natural, straight down, not so it comes at an angle, then it'll hang on the grass, drops right next to the clumps. That's the key. They'll see it fall and they pounce on it immediately.
The opportunity to use the combination of a Lowrance sonar unit and a GPS tracking system in conjunction with the new Mav Aqua Vu is one of the biggest advances that we've seen in fishing in recent years. We're now better able to interact one-on-one with the fish, making fishing more successful and much more fun.